Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
I do want to talk a little bit about the other side because I'm trying to work through how to feel about Houston because on the one hand, the metrics just like slobber over them. Like you name it. They just love Houston. And yet when I see them play, at least, today as an example, and then we know they lost to TCU, they lost to Iowa State on the road in their first year in the Big 12. If they don't get a nuclear second half from LJ Cryer, they lose this game by 30. And so I like help me work through how people should feel. Is this just you run into a buzzsaw at Fog Allen and they're going to win a lot more games and that this team is going to be heard from in March? Or is this perhaps, as we're seeing in the first, 8 to 10 games of Big 12 play, that this Houston team is pretty limited when they actually have to go tit for tat with somebody?
What Kelvin told me afterwards was, listen, I thought we'd lose by 30. Like looking up with, again, the fact that Kansas did shoot almost 70%. He's like, I can't believe we only lost by 13 and we had a chance there before Parker Brown hit that shot to maybe make it close and put a little game pressure on him. He's not worried about this Houston team because he said, like, I feel like we're in the mix. Again, in that second tier, in the Big 12, you're not winning a lot of games. He's never won, by the way, here at Fog Allen. Never won. He obviously hasn't played here in a while, but he was at Oklahoma as a head coach. And nobody wins here, really. I mean, look at the numbers. Bill Self wins like 96% of his games at Fog Allen. He wins every game when he's an underdog, other than when they played Baylor a couple of years ago. So I'm not that worried about Houston, but I do think the loss of Terrence Arsenault for the season earlier this year was a blow that is affecting them now because they just don't have quite enough firepower. And one of the things I thought Houston was going to be able to take advantage of today was Emmanuel Sharp on Furphy, and he wasn't able to do that. Furphy played great defense today. He's got length. Yeah. He doesn't have a lot of bulk and strength.
Yeah.
But he did a great job on Sharp. And again, listen, they just need one more dude off the bench to be a little more than they've been, or all three of those guys collectively to be a little better than they've been. But I worry about Kansas in the NCAA tournament, only going 5, 6, maybe 6 deep.
As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68 each and every week of the college basketball season. We have a special offer that will be available starting on Tuesday, January 9th and running through Monday, February 12th, the morning after Super Bowl 58. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, in honor of the big game, you can use the bonus code FIELD158 and you'll get $158 in free bets on your first wager with BetMGM, regardless of whether or not you win that first bet. Here's how you make it work. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD158. Deposit at least $5 and place your first wager on any game. You'll receive $158 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your bet. Just make sure that you use that bonus code FIELD158 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly, which happens quite a bit. When you cross state borders, you just log into your existing account and fire away. You don't have to create separate accounts in each state. It's easy, it's simple, it's clean. And most importantly, we have some fun stuff coming up for the heart of the college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odd boosts, and my favorite, a nice juicy parlay boost. So download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Field 158.
I do have a take on Houston that I want to fire off, and I want to see what you guys think about this, because I feel like today showed us where Houston's limitations are, in the sense that at the end you get to a certain point, right? And elite offense is always going to end up being able to beat out elite defense. And I think that when you see the moments where Houston isn't able to do what they want to do defensively, where they can't really force the turnovers and they're not getting to the offensive glass and they're not really able to be as physical and muck it up the way that they want to be able to do it. They don't really have an answer for that, right? You have one of your best players, LJ Cryer, go off in the second half, and it doesn't matter. You still lose by 13 on the road. And yes, I know it was Kansas, and yes, I know it was Fog Allen Fieldhouse, but I do think that what we saw today was the problem of kind of building this style and this brand of basketball. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't have success, and that doesn't mean that they can't go out and win. They've been doing this, and I think their last 4 NCAA tournaments have been Sweet 16, Final Four, Elite Eight, Sweet 16. Right? So you're able to make it to a certain point, but it's the same thing as like we just watched Kentucky here, where when you're not able to guard, you have to be perfect offensively to be able to go out and win games against some of the teams in college basketball. And for Houston, they got to be perfect defensively, or at least close to it, if they want to be able to go out and beat some of the best teams in college basketball, because there's a ceiling to what they are on the offensive end of the floor.
It's a lot of pressure, man. And look, I lived it because, I'm obviously here in Memphis, and when they were in the AAC, I know exactly. Like I think Kelvin Sampson is probably the best coach that doesn't get the mainstream coverage just because of his conference affiliation the last several years. That's going to change now, and also his life's going to get harder. But it's a lot of pressure when you just don't have that shot creation. And I'm curious to see, sort of after a year, does he change it? Is it something that, and again, it's one loss. Like, I'm not going to penalize somebody for not winning at Fog Allen. Like, that would be a ridiculous thing to do. But it is life in the Big 12, and you're gonna have nights like that. There's no question about it.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.